What you're about to see is one of the most exciting races in the country. So let's get ready for large doses of high-octane entertainment.
Hello viewers, and welcome to a look at Monster Truck Championship running on Nintendo Switch. Bit of full screen gameplay here from the docked mode. All the full screen gameplay you see direct feed is from the dock mode, and I've included a bit of handheld footage as well because it is very impressive on the console itself in handheld mode. And majority of time when I play it, I'll be playing it in this mode. And it works relatively well. As you can see, the graphics have converted well from the PC and console versions I was playing a while back, especially compared to the console, which only ran at 30 FPS anyway. Though the obviously the Switch is a bit small for my giant hands, but runs okay. Plays in pretty much the same way. Everything is there. So I went back and I took a look at the PC version, and I literally compared it here directly, so you can see side-by-side comparison of both versions. There's minor changes here and there to colour, look and feel, but in general the conversion from a powerful PC running a GTX 1080 compared to a Nintendo Switch, really is impressive to see. I mean, there's minor changes to it, but obviously on the handheld mode in particular you don't notice them as much. As we just work our way around there, you do miss out on having analog control. I felt there was that bit more fluidity to the console versions, but that's not an issue with the conversion itself. It's just the Switch hardware that has its limitations, which I wish they added some analog triggers to. All the options are there from the console versions, the training, the career mode, the progression that we've seen on the previous version, and I'll have a link to our original overview of the entire PC game where you can see all of the elements contained within. I'll have that coming up on the screen as well. The different viewpoints are there. We saw the faraway cam, close behind cam, bumper cam, and you have a cockpit cam as well. Cockpit cam actually slowed the frame rate down on other versions. Again here it works pretty well, so I was impressed with the whole way it was running. Frame rate seems to be in many ways better on when it's in handheld mode than it is in docked mode. I find the frame rate's a little bit slower. Could do with a few more frames just to smooth it off. We're never going to get to the fluidity of the PC version, but there are a few times when it's a bit slow around the start of races. Either way, we've got some complex geometry here, as you can see in the cockpit, and it all looks pretty good. Generally speaking, again, it's very, very similar to the PC version, and I'm impressed with the progress that's been made. And in terms of playability, it's all pretty similar as well. I was mentioning before about the twin sticks. Obviously my hands are a bit big for the twin stick control. So you have a range of different events, from racing to freestyle events, and these are high-speed drag races as well. Drag races not necessarily in a straight line. There's always a few challenges and a corner to get around, and it is always push you a bit more to the limit. And it's all important to get those revs right at the start and really get that perfect green if you can, as you see there, and it worked pretty well. It took a bit of getting used to on the Switch version, just because there's no analog control, so you can't park it, if you like, the revs in the right place and find that point. But either way, bit of timing and you get your head around it, and it works really well. So nice to see. So if you're a fan of monster trucks, it's definitely worth checking out. And as I say, in terms of performance, it's okay for a handheld for the Switch. Graphically, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing so far in terms of overall improvements now, or overall conversion. Now when you look at, say, a mode like this, obviously you go through the different modes, and then you progress your way through the tournament and go from there. And then when you're not doing the tournaments, you can jump onto a bit of a practice training area and really just learn how to control your vehicle, especially with the rear wheel control. It just adds a lot in terms of understanding how to control it, and works pretty well. Again, it's one of those things where, obviously for me, and I'll always go on about it, you do lose a lot in terms of fluidity of frame rate compared to the super duper powered PC versions. But either way, I think it works pretty well on a Switch. As a handheld game, it's all there. It all looks pretty similar to the other versions, and I think they've done a decent job with the conversion. An extra 5 FPS here and there wouldn't go amiss, just smoothing up some of the elements and just when it gets a bit busy on screen. But on the whole, I think it's a reasonable conversion of what you can expect, and as I say, those comparisons show that for itself. But a look at Monster Truck Championship on Nintendo Switch. Do let me know what you'd like to see on Nintendo Switch, and I'll be playing a bit of this on the PC version on my streams from time to time as well. But that's it from me for now. As ever, more soon. Hello viewers, well thanks for watching the video today. Do like and subscribe, it supports what we do. Do become a YouTube member. YouTube Patreon supports all of our content you see on the channel, and of course lots of gaming from retro to modern games. I love it all in terms of racing action. So click on one of the 2 videos just there to find out more.